What's up, guys, and welcome to my first review for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the new Marvel Disney Plus show, streaming now. So yeah, like I said last time, my WandaVision reviews, I was going to do weekly reviews for this show as well, so we're doing it. So yeah, the first episode came out today, and I finished watching it not too long ago, and yeah, right off the bat, pretty good. I liked it. So yeah, alright, so yeah, this show will be, it's gonna be it's a shorter show than WandaVision. It's gonna be only 6 episodes long, but they'll be longer in length. They'll be around like about 40-some minutes long. This first episode alone was like about 50 minutes long. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and go a bit quicker with these reviews, because the WandaVision reviews were a little bit longer. They're like 20-some, 24 minutes long maximum. So I'm gonna hopefully try and make these shorter. Hopefully, I'm not promising anything. But yeah, so yeah, this was a 50-minute episode, and this one, so yeah, this was more so in line of like proper MCU stuff than WandaVision. WandaVision, of course, was more so set in a sitcom, like reality kind of thing. This is more in line with like what you kind of expect to see with the MCU, and it's not gonna be like a mystery thriller like WandaVision was, where WandaVision was a more like a proper, more serialized TV show, a mystery. This is a more a MCU film, like condensed or like spread out into this more longer, like shorter TV kind of style. So it's more so, it's a mini movie basically is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, just spread into a TV show format. So this is more a proper film than WandaVision was. WandaVision was a more serialized show, and this is more of a mini movie of sorts, just spread out into a more TV format. So that took a while for me to explain that. I can't get that out properly. Oh my god. Yeah, but also, this was, out of all the Disney Plus shows that have been announced, like, so far back then, before all the new ones were announced, this was my most anticipated one because, like, I was excited for the other ones too. I wasn't really that excited for the other ones back then before we started seeing the trailers. Like, I didn't really care for WandaVision back then before I started seeing the trailers. I didn't really care much for Loki either until I saw the trailers and such. But still, this was still my #1 most anticipated show, because I really like Falcon and Winter Soldier. They have some fun dynamics, and I thought this could be a really interesting and fun show. And so far it is. And like, first off, it's really impressive that this is a TV show, because the action sequence we got in this episode was like incredible. Like, it's honestly, you kind of watch it and kind of forget like this is a TV show. It has a smaller, it's not a film budget, but it has a big budget, bigger than most TV shows, and it looked fantastic. Like, it was a whole sequence of Falcon just like flying through this like cavern and canyon, like ducking through missiles and stuff and fighting on a plane, choppers, like, and like there was people like, what were they called again? The wingsuits, like the you know what I mean? Those like suits you when you jump out of the air. They're not called Halo suits, are they? Yeah, they're called Halo suits, aren't they? The ones where you just like jump out of the air and you're kind of gliding. I forget what they're called, but you know what I mean. It was really, honestly, it was a great action sequence. It was great to finally have Falcon get a really awesome, like, his own kind of fight sequence. We've seen him in a lot of cool fight sequences before in the other films, but this now his own separate fight scene. It's not with like Captain America or Bucky. It's his own little fight scene, and it's like, it's really awesome. We get to showing off. It shows off his brand new, more comic accurate looking costume. We get to see Red Wing in a bit more action, which we only saw him use that drone once during Civil War, and now we're seeing it again finally, which is great. We also saw a return of Backtrack the Leaper, played once again by George St. Pierre, which I really appreciate, because like, honestly, because when they threw, if you don't remember who Backtrack was, I don't blame you, because he wasn't really in the films a lot. Honestly, he was only in one film. He was in the opening of Winter Soldier, where Cap in there and his like and his SHIELD team, they infiltrate that ship full of terrorists and to save their SHIELD agents, and he was the guy in charge. My throat, damn it. Better. But yeah, he was just in the opening of Winter Soldier, and he has a cool fight with Captain America, and it was a really nice fight, and they even gave him like his more comic book accurate looking jacket that has like the purple and yellow stuff to it. And honestly, I did not really think we would see Backtrack after that, because I'm not really aware of who the character Backtrack is. He's like a C-lister or D-lister villain from the comics, really. Like, his whole gimmick was that in the comics he has these like special metal legs, and they're not actual metal legs, like, but armored stuff around his legs that help him like jump super high and stuff, and like that was his whole gimmick. Of course, in this one he's just kind of a terrorist guy, he's a thug who kind of has good combat skills with his legs, so that's all he is. So, a bit more realistic than the silliness of the comic book version. And also, I did not think we would see him again, like, honestly, because it's like, I thought in Winter Soldier he would just be kind of just like, this like fun little throwaway thing, like, hey, let's just throw in a random like C-lister or D-lister from the comics to have in the film. It'd be kind of a fun little thing for the comic people to like see, like, hey, it's Batroc, awesome. It's a really random cool thing, but that's really cool that they just brought a very minor character like that. So I honestly didn't think we would see him again, but honestly, I really appreciate they brought him back for this, because like it's cool to seeing them start to bring back other villains for MCU projects now. Because of course we know Zemo's gonna be in this, so it's awesome seeing him. So I'm glad they're starting to bring back other MCU villains that are still alive. So that's really cool. Of course, also he survives. Like all the other people, terrorist people that Falcon was fighting, are killed or defeated. So, but he escapes. So we're definitely gonna see him probably later in the season. And but yeah, so the entirety of the episode, so that was like the one big action. There was not our fight sequence in the episode, but that was like our one big major fight scene we had in the episode. Most of it was so far, you know, kind of just setting up kind of a tone, or like, and setting up the tone, and also showing us stuff with Falcon and Bucky, establishing their characters, and developing them a bit more, and showing like some more insight to them and what they're kind of going through at this point in time now. It's about like 4 months, I think they said, after the blip, so, which I don't like that they still call the blip, just call it like the snap or vanishing, whatever, I don't care. Like, just why the blip? It was a stupid thing the kids called in far from home, but now it's apparently the official thing, like, the blip. Like, okay, I don't know, whatever, that's just me, whatever. But, yeah, so we see Falcon, of course, we meet Falcon's sister, Sarah, and his two nephews. I think he referenced his sister in one of the prior films, I can't recall, it may have been Winter Soldier, I don't know, but I think he may have referenced her before. But we meet her now, and we learn that, you know, their families had a tie-up history with a boat and the sea a bit. They had this like little shipping boat and stuff, and for sailing and whatnot or whatever. And we see that his sister wants to sell it and whatnot, but Falcon or Sam, he's like, no, don't sell it. It's just like, it's not just a family business thing. It's just like, we grew up on this thing. This is a part of our childhood, our lives. We can't just get rid of it. And like, he managed to convince her, and they're trying to get a loan from like the government to like, you know, help them keep it and such, and like they refuse to, but he's still like, no, we're gonna get it, and like, and you know, she's telling him how like you weren't here for a lot of the family stuff, like you went off and joined the army, the military, and like went off to be a superhero, which I'm grateful, you're doing great stuff being a superhero, but I'm just saying you weren't here for this stuff, so I know what's best to do right now with this scenario. So like, I like that stuff they're doing with Sam. We haven't seen too much development with Sam in the MCU, honestly. Like, the most we had was in Winter Soldier, where we first meet him, where he talks about his past, being a military guy, and learn how like he lost his wingman Riley during an incident, like when they were like infiltrating a place. Which I think they also said they're gonna explore, or there's gonna be like some kind of flashback scene to like showing him with his wingman Riley. So that'll be cool to see. So there's all that cool stuff. But after Winter Soldier, we haven't really gone a lot. After that, he was always kind of just, I don't want to say he was there. He always did play a good role in every time he was there. But there was never like much development past Winter Soldier. He was always kind of just there to help out the Cap and such. So yeah, but now we're probably getting some more development with his character, which I think is great. It's awesome because Falcon's a cool character, and Anthony Mackie's great. But then also there's also Bucky on the other side of this, and of course now Bucky is of course now post Endgame. He's now been, damn it, what's the word? Oh my God, what's that word? Pardoned. He's been pardoned. Oh my God, how do I almost forget that word? He's been pardoned now, all his crimes now, of course, because he helped save the freaking world, so good. And his brainwashing's now finally gone, because of course, the Wakandan scientist finally freed him, the Shuri helped him out there, and he saved the world now, helped with Thanos, and now he's pardoned finally, he's now a free man, and can live his life. But, you know, of course, he's still dealing with stuff. Of course, he has nightmares now about, of course, all the people, all the things he did as a Winter Soldier, and such, and he goes see a therapist or a psych or doctor, wherever she is, and he kind of talk about like how he's doing and such, and how he's like mending some things, how he's like also, we see that also he's still doing some good, how he's crossing off a few other Hydra associates on his list, but not killing them. He has to follow 3 certain rules. You know, of course, first off, make amends by stopping these other people. Do it in the law. Don't kill anyone and don't hurt anyone. And also just don't do it as Bucky Barnes, not as the Winter Soldier, so don't go by the name. So he's officially retired the name Winter Soldier, although the show is called Falcon Winter Soldier, but, you know, it's just for branding. But like, he's no longer going by Winter Soldier. I remember when Infinity War was coming out, the Russos said that, because in Black Panther, some of the Wakandan kids called him White Wolf, and I think the Russos said that's his new name he's going by, which I'm not sure if he is, because they almost never call him that. They call him only that during, like, Black Panther's after credits scene. I don't know if they call him that at all in Infinity War. They definitely didn't. Not in Endgame either. So I'm not sure if he's going by White Wolf or not, or is he just Bucky now? I don't know. But so we see that, and of course, and you know, he doesn't want to admit he's having his nightmares, but he is. And we see he's also friends with this one character whose name is, I'll look it up again quickly. Okay, well, I can't find that name. The actor's not listed on the IMDb yet, so I forgot his name, whatever. So, like, he's going having lunch with this one old guy, and like, he's spending time with him, being a nice dude and such. But then, of course, we learn that actually this guy had a son who was killed, and he still doesn't know the exact reason or how it happened. But of course, we learn actually that Bucky, as we saw in a prior, his nightmare he was having was a nightmare of him actually remembering him killing this guy's son, and he remembers and he knows that he killed this guy's son. That's kind of why he's like spending time with him. He's trying to like make amends for that, and like it goes back to like calls back to that scene in Civil War when Iron Man asks Bucky, "Do you remember killing his parents?" And he says, "I remember all of them." So and he does. He clearly does remember every single person he like killed and all their families he's hurt. So like, he's trying to make amends for that right now. And later in the episode, when he goes on a date with this girl at the lunch place they went to, which the old man like makes him go on a date, he gets the date set up for him, and he goes on a date with him. And like the girl starts talking about how like this man, it's nice that you're like to hang out with the guy and like spending time with him. You know, like he hasn't been the same since his like son died. So the son, he clearly killed his son recently, very recently. It has to be. I'm assuming that that scene we saw Bucky infiltrating that place and killing his son must have been, I want to say maybe at least approximately a year before Winter Soldier, maybe 2 years, so like 2012, 2013. It can't be anything past Winter Soldier. That's how it has to be. So it can't be anything past that point. So yeah, and of course, and he starts talking about how like, you know, it hasn't been the same. Like I can't imagine what really. They're like, there's no real word for people who lose their slaves. People who like when they lose their husbands, when wives lose their husbands, they're called widows, and when kids lose their parents, they're called orphans. But like, there's not really a word for like a parent losing their son. And it said like and she's talking about how it's like that's probably one of the worst feelings ever feel. And Bucky kind of like decides to like leave, and he goes to his apartment. And you think he's about to reveal to him that they kill him and such, and he quickly sees inside the apartment, so there's a shrine there for him and stuff, and also he pays him back for him paying for lunch and whatnot. The old man, I think, paid for lunch earlier and such, and like, so he doesn't reveal he killed his son, so he couldn't do it. So, you know, like, I'm also there, I'm really liking more than taking Bucky's character. He's now like, he was a changed man, but he still like has all these sins and scars from his past, so he's trying to make better of them. I think so far they've handled it really well. I'm really excited to see, you know, where he goes and like where he's going to end at the end of the show and how he's going to be. So it's really cool. One other thing also I wanted to mention, let's bring this up now, I guess. So, of course, in the start of the episode, early on after the whole like act sequence, you know, Sam goes to this like site in Washington to like put Cap's shield on display. And the question is raised now is that, so is Steve dead or is he alive? Because Sam's partner he was working with before he left, like during the whole like act sequence, like he'd asked him how there's like conspiracy theories online about, you know, what happened to Steve. Like no one knows, you know, where'd he go, what's happened to him. And there's really weird ones. Conspiracy theory. It's like, oh, he might be on the moon. Did you bring him to the moon? Is that where he is right now? Which I think it's a reference to something. I think it's a reference to like this one comic called Original Sin involving Nick Fury. I think that's what it is. Not quite entirely sure. Haven't read that comic since it came out, but whatever. There's all these weird theories online, but then he says, I can show you that's not what's happening there. And then he tells us he's gotta leave. I have to go do a space thing. So he's like making referencing how he referred to Steve, saying how but he's not saying he's on the moon. He's just making jokes saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do like a thing related to Steve. So yeah, and then he goes to this place to put his shield on display and talks about Steve and such, and is he dead? Is that a funeral or memorial service to him? I don't really know, because my problem is, here's the thing. If he is dead, that is a load of crap, because, how can you have Steve Rogers, one of the big architects of the MCU, he's been here since Phase 1, major character, how can you have him die off screen? That's major disrespect, I don't know, it's very... I don't like that if he died off screen. So, but this doesn't feel like a funeral. But at the same time, maybe it is. I don't know. But then again, there's not I don't know. I just don't. I hope it's not. I hope it's not dead. They're not being very clear in the show whether or not he's dead or not. I'm sure in later episodes they'll probably explain if he's dead or not. But if he died off screen, that sucks. That's so disrespectful to the character. But of course, Sam Of course, also we see Rhodey there. We see Rhodey's there. He talks to Sam. We knew he was going to be in the show because Don Cheadle confirmed a few weeks back that he was going to be in the show. And he's not here for too long. He's only here for a little bit to talk with Sam and like walk through like the Captain America exhibit. I have a feeling he'll probably show up again at least once during this season because we know he has his own show coming up soon around, I think next year. I think they might be shooting it relatively soon, I think, in another month, I don't know. But he has his own MCU Disney Plus show coming up, so I assume we might see him one more time, possibly, to lead into that. So, yeah, but that was cool seeing Rhodey there, and we've seen this whole exhibit he has here, and he kind of tells Rhodey why he didn't take out the mantle, like, Cap asked him to, but he just didn't feel right to him, like, it feels like, as he said in Endgame, it feels like someone else's, like, this doesn't feel quite right, so to him, it's a lot of pressure to kind of take up that mantle, and he doesn't feel like he's really the right person to kind of do that. He doesn't really feel about it. Of course, so he's gonna have to regret that now, because of course the episode ends, or the government's like, of course Sam's like, let's just retire the mantle, like, put the shield on display, and the mantle's now retired, and like, there you go, Steve, thank you for all you've done. But then, of course, the government's like, nah, we need a Captain America, here's our new guy. Of course, this new character is, of course, John Walker, who's a character from the comics. In the comics, he's known as the U.S. Agent. I don't know if he's going to refer to him as that in the show. Probably not. I don't know. But, of course, he's got a new Captain America suit on. He's got the shield and everything, which that's very curious. They have not shown a lot. Like, they've only shown one thing of him in all the trailers, all the marketing. So I'm really curious to see, like, what's going to go down with this character, like, what's going to happen with him and Bucky and Sam. Like, because we have not seen a lot of him in the marketing, so I don't really know what's going to happen with this character. It's very interesting. So, yeah. But so yeah, there's that, and yeah, that's the episode. And that's all the stuff that happens. And like I said, honestly, it's pretty good. I would have to give the first episode an 8 out of 10. I would say I'm very impressed with it so far. I'm liking where it's going. We're developing Sam a bit more as a character. We're showing stuff about Bucky a little bit more, which is really cool. We're going some interesting directions. Major flaw, I honestly, is just that that they might have killed Cap off screen, which I think is dumb. Like, why would you do that? But I was really digging it, how it was going. I'm really excited to see where the rest of the show goes. I'm super excited to see where it goes, where we still know how Sharon Carter is going to factor into the plot, how Zemo factors into the plot. Because, oh wait, I didn't mention him in the Flag Smasher, that terrorist organization that's a villain that is part of the show, that Sam's partner is investigating a bit. And they seem to be enhanced a bit. Some of the guys in that terrorist group are like super strong. So I don't know if they're affiliated with Zemo, if he's working with them or not. In the trailer, Zemo was with Sam Bucky, like, working with them, it seemed like, in some shots. So I really don't know what's going to happen there. So I'm interested in seeing what happens in episode 2. So, yeah. But yeah, overall, 8 out of 10. I cannot wait to see where episode 2 goes. I'm very excited to see what happens. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of the first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier? I thought it was pretty good. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all next week for episode 2 of Falcon Winter Soldier. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.